Welcome back. It is Monday, so that means we get to check in with local CPA, Robin LeBlanc. Robin, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we're all getting ready for back to school. How can that impact us when we go to file for our taxes?
Well, if you have kids that are in K through 12, you need to be keeping those receipts when you're doing your shopping because you can actually deduct some of those expenses on your Louisiana return.
Really?
So the school supplies, the folders, the glue, the backpacks, or everyone's getting these new clear lunch boxes to get the requirements in. All those things add up to be a deduction on your Louisiana return. Now, depending on what type of school your kid's in, has a different impact on the deductions. So private schools, you're actually able to deduct 100% up to $5,000 on your state return. So that includes the tuition. And if you're in public if you're in public school or homeschool, you can only deduct 50% though. And if you're doing homeschool for your child, the curricula needs to be approved by the Board of Education. So you can't just come up with your own program and have that be one of the deductible expenses.
Yeah.
Now, things that are not included are if they're in extra sports or outside of regular school activities, class rings, yearbooks, things that are not required, even if they add to the experience of education. And for all my parents that pay for school supplies every year, but don't always claim the kids on their return, you can still get the deduction if you are claiming your kid this year or the prior year. So if you have a setup where you're claiming your kids every other year, but you pay for all the tuition, education, supplies every year, you can still deduct those on your state return, even if it's not your year to claim your child as a dependent. Yeah. And so it really goes into making sure you're keeping these receipts. So those little receipts when you sign up and pay your, $15 Chromebook fees, those are really important to keep for your tax records. Scan them in, organize them right now, because you're not going to need them until, January when it's tax season. So store them somewhere safe, get those totals to your accountant as soon as you can, and get all the expenses and write-offs on your state return as possible.
This is all great advice. I never realized that school supplies could actually be an advantage when it comes to deductions on your taxes. Robin, this is all great information. If people at home have any questions for you, how can they contact you?
Give us a call at 337-330-4000 or shoot us an email at info@robinleblanccpa.com.
Robin, thank you so much for joining us virtually to share this with our viewers today.
Thank you.
Of course, if you at home want to rewatch this, head to KLAF.com. But stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.